Hello and a very warm welcome to Bonsai Garden with me, Mark Sanders. Hope you're all well. Just give you a quick update really on the Christmas cactus, as it's the 1st of December. It's quite sunny here. It's very windy and the wind is very cold. We're expecting a heavy frost tomorrow morning, but apart from that we're okay. The high winds that we've had, 60 to 90 mile an hour in places across the UK, completely wrecked my gazebo because I didn't take it down, but it just ripped it all to pieces. So I'm going to put a hard roof on it now. I'm going to modernize it by taking the pitch roof frame off, and then I'm going to put some corrugated plastic roofing on it. Because it's a nice little corner of the garden. That's usually where I do my filming. Obviously can't do it in this weather and it's just far too cold, too noisy, but it's great in the summer. So hence while I'm in the utility room. So the Christmas cactus, as it's the 1st of December, hey presto, we got some flowers with lots and lots of buds. So there's still plenty more flowers to come out, and they're just so pretty, and they're almost like an apricot, and they got this beautiful pink center to it. It's really pretty and quite a large flower, and it's kind of like a double flower, which is very nice. So there's one there. I don't know if I expect you can see the buds on there. All over the place, so there's plenty more to come out. There's another flower there, very pretty, and once it all comes out in flower it's really spectacular. So well pleased about that. So I chopped all the dead bits and pieces off of it. I give it some feed, put it in a position where it wasn't in direct sunlight, but it's in my healing room, so it's sheltered there, but you've got sunlight coming in, but it's not direct. So we got that one, and there's 2 Thanksgiving ones in there as well, so which haven't flowered, but this one is lovely, really nice, and once that comes out in flower it's going to look spectacular. So anyway, I thought I'd just give you an update on that, just to just show you that beautiful flower. I'll see if I can move the camera in slightly so you can have a better look at it. I'll hold it up. You can see how pretty that is. Lovely, isn't it? Really nice. Well chuffed for that. So that's basically that one. I thought I'd just share that with you. And I'll put that one to one side, and then it's a real lump. And then the other thing that I was going to show you was I did mention about the Podocarpus that I've got, or Buddhist pine, whatever you'd like to call it, but Podocarpus is its proper name. And something was in there, something was eating all the branches, so what I've had to do is a bit drastic, but I've actually cut the branches off that were infected. I checked the wood. I kind of scraped the bark back and it was brown, so that told me that the branches were dead, so there's no point in keeping them on there. So I've, rightly or wrongly, I've cut them off and trying to save this part of the tree, which is, touch wood, is going to be okay. It's as I said, before I repotted it, I put it in some good soil, and once it gets dry I'll stick my finger in there, and if it's dry, which it's not at the moment because I watered it yesterday, and because it was a bit warmer outside I've left it outside as well. It doesn't seem to like it indoors for some reason. As soon as you bring it indoors it just dries out, and that's it, you've had it. A lot of people do keep them outside all year. I've put it in the greenhouse, but then I kind of forget about the blooming things, and then you forget to water them, so I like to be able to see them, so it's a constant reminder. because my memory is not that brilliant at the moment because of all the treatment I've had, so I'm very forgetful. But this one, I've been keeping an eye on it. I've got some other ones down here on my rack that you can't see, and they're not in camera shot, but I've got an elm, a ficus and a Japanese pepper, and they were all watered yesterday. I put them on the draining board. I leave these indoors, so we've got a lovely bit of sunshine coming in, and they're doing okay. They're fine and growing quite nicely, so that I'm happy with that. And also all my little money plants, they're all coming on, the ones that I've potted up, and I've got quite a few actually in here now. But anyway, that's the update on this one. It looks like I've got a new shoot come out at the bottom, so I'll just have to really look after it, because I'm just hoping that it's gonna survive. This will be the second one I've had, and the first one did exactly the same. I don't know why. Is it something I've done wrong? I don't know. But anyway, I got onto the internet. A lot of people said if you've got a problem like that, get the branches off. There was a spider in there, and I've just found another nest in there. A little white, looked like an end of a cotton earbud, but very, very tiny. And I think there was eggs in that, so I've removed that. So whether it's like a spider mite that attacks these, I have no idea. But anyway, there was something present, and it was worse on the bit that I cut off. There seemed to be a lot of spiders up there, and that's the bit that died. So I'm assuming that it could be that, or there's something that I have actually done wrong. Whether or not it's just too hot, and there's no radiators in this room. All there is the boiler, and it does get warm because you got the sun coming in. And it's not too hot, so I thought this is going to be the ideal spot, because it likes a lot of sun and it doesn't like too much heat. So, you know, I've got blinds that I can pull down just to protect them, but they tend to like the full sun. If it's a very hot day, then obviously you've got to put them into a little bit of shade, because they can get sunburnt on there. They go grey and brown. So you have to be careful with that one. But you know, winter sun, it's not so hot, but and you know, it seems to be doing all okay. So that's about it with that one. So I'm just looking after this little baby, and I'm nursing it, and I'm sure it'll be okay, and I'm hoping it will be, and I'm sure it will be, as long as I keep an eye on it. It's a nice watering. It's in a nice big pot. Because he was a little bit pot bound, sorry. So I thought if I put it in a bigger pot, I'd give it room to be more comfortable in, and it'll just hopefully help it to grow and be healthy. So that's that one there. And Paul Sanders asked a question about the pros and cons of deciduous, if I could say it, deciduous trees and evergreens. Now, from my personal point of view, if you got a deciduous, like the Japanese or the Chinese elm, it loses its leaves this time of year, so then it becomes dormant. And a lot of people, they just put them in the garage and they keep them watered a little bit because they don't need too much, and then they're just, you know, you not forget about them, but they're a little bit easier to look after because it's a deciduous. And because deciduous, I think, means fall, so the leaves fall off. So it's an old Saxon word, or Anglo-Saxon word. So deciduous means fall. So the leaves fall off. It's saving energy. It's saving the tree. There's no photosynthesis happening. So then the tree is retaining its own moisture and its goodness, and that will see it through the dormant period of winter. Now with a evergreen, obviously it keeps its leaves and everything, and the Buddhist pine, that's an evergreen, so it keeps its foliage throughout the year. And the only thing with these, you know, they're easy enough to look after, but you have to make sure that they are watered on a regular basis, because obviously you got the foliage. If you don't water them, then that's when you start to get problems and the leaves curl up and all that kind of thing. Same with the like Japanese pepper. You have to keep on top of that one. If the leaves start to curl and the branches start to twist, so I've noticed if they're underwater slightly, then you can end up with a problem there. So you've got to make sure they're watered. I normally stand them in the sink. I can leave them in there for about 10 to 15 minutes, take them out, put them on the draining board, and then just let them drain for a few hours. And then once they've fully drained, I can put them back on the rack, and then they've had a nice watering. But you only want to water them probably once a week or a fortnight. You know, you've got to be so careful. But what I normally do is just stick my finger in the soil, and if it comes out a little bit damp, then it doesn't need watering. If it's dry, then it requires watering. But normally with an evergreen, I suppose the cons with it's not cons as such, but you've got to keep on top of them. The deciduous, once the leaves fall off, as I say, it's self-storage, it's looking after itself, it's dropped the leaves off, and basically it's looking after itself. It's retained all its goodness and moisture, and it goes to sleep basically. So we've got to wait till the spring, then we can start giving it a little bit more water, and once you get the leaves on, you can start to feed them. Then they start to flourish, and then they'll start to grow again, and the trunk will start to thicken up, the branches will get longer, and then that's when you've got to reshape them. With the evergreen, more or less the same. In the spring they'll start growing again, but they're reasonably easy to look after. And I suppose the easiest one to look after is the deciduous, I find, because all I have to do is just to water feed it and just trim it up. In the winter, you can just put it anywhere, as long as it's not in direct sunlight, because you want it to go to sleep. If you keep it in the sunlight, then obviously the thing doesn't know what's going on. But like you get trees in the wild, they seem to cope with it okay. But a lot of people there will put them in a darkened room, or they'll put them in the garage. You know, I've known people put them in the garage, but I'm not going to do that. They're just in the utility room. They're not in too bright a light, and it's doing fine. It's a lovely little tree, and I've had that one for a few years now. One of my first ones when I first started, from Devon Bonsai, and a great guy down there. I forgot what his name is, but if you go on the internet and look up Devon Bonsai, he's got a lovely nursery down there. It's a nice little drive down to it, because it's not too far away from us, and I must go down there and see him again, because he's got some beautiful trees down there, and he's very knowledgeable and very helpful, and his prices are very reasonable on the trees and all the Akadama soils and tools and everything that you require, wires. That I bought everything down there when I first started, so thank you to him. And forgive me because I've forgotten what your name is. But apart from that, so your evergreens, pros and cons, you've got to look after them all the time. You got to be on top of them. As I say, with the deciduous, once the leaves fallen off, it's okay. You know, little drop of water now and again, but only a little drop. That's all. With this one, you got to keep your eye on them. They can be quite temperamental, the evergreens, I find anyway. But if anybody else has got any tips for Paul Sanders, then please drop them down the bottom there, and it'd be interesting to read what your thoughts are. I know Tom Novak, he's an encyclopedia of knowledge, so Tom would know, and also Nigel Saunders, he's very good. So that's good, and yeah, it's all good stuff. So anyway, I hope that does answer your questions, Paul. Thank you for your question. It was a very good one. So yeah, these are a little bit more temperamental than the deciduous. So basically that's it really. Nothing else to add to that really. But anyway, I'll give you another update when this one beautiful thing comes out in flower all over. It'll probably have pride of place near our Christmas tree, which will be going up quite shortly, so I've been told. So looking forward to that. My treatment starts this Friday, because it was held up. We didn't get the letter from the hospital telling us any times or dates or anything. So anyway, I ended up ringing up yesterday, and they quite kindly told me it's this Friday. So radiotherapy starts this Friday. But I'm really well. I feel brilliant. I'm positive. It's fine. Lots of more exciting videos to come. And with Christmas, I love Christmas, and I'm so excited. And I hope you all are too. And stay safe and warm. And please subscribe, share. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. And thanks to Tom for helping me out as well. Really appreciate that. And everybody that subscribed, thank you so much. Really appreciate that too. And I'll speak to you all soon. Take care of yourselves and stay safe. Bye for now. Bye.